what it does, it always carries out the system's call. Now here there is two very important components further I will discuss, and its block. That in the virtual machines, let me take it back. Virtual machines, as I told, that virtual machine has a two mode, that is a user mode and kernel mode. Now in this two mode, whenever we because computer works on digits, binary digits 0 and 1, so user mode we keep the mode bit is equal to 1, and in the kernel mode we keep mode bit is equal to 0. This you keep it in your mind. Now in this two mode of operations, we are creating another way of understanding the kernel and its interface between the user and the hardware. Is that, let me put the three block structures with the common block structures. Now here I am giving a term like a user process executing. User is executing a particular process, okay, like in the process a given job J1, like that. And this process, even after executing, how it will execute? Whenever the call system, that is a system call or a call generate mode, whenever a system call is carried out or a call generate is made, that way. And after that, then execute this system call or a call systems, or a system execute system call. Then finally it is written from system call. I can put it as this one as a system call, okay, and call generate, okay. So this is one. Now here, this is the mode of communications. Now here in this mode of communication, you have to understand that whenever these particular sections, this is known as a kernel, and this particular section, this is known as user process, or we assemble user mode, and this is known as kernel mode. What this is the thing is. Now exactly what is happening in this way, that whenever this process is need to execute based on the let us take that you want to run a MP4. MP4 is a process. So if this MP4 has to run, automatically the system will try to see that in this particular mode which type of MP file is there, whether you are having a, there are MP4 to run, whether you are having a KM player or a VM player, VLC player, VLC media player. These are the some players which is used is there, or any other player is there which is the user can able to process it. Whichever, let us think that the VLC media player is taken, MP4 is processing. So if it is want to make this particular process, first is that the user mode, that mode bit, in the, since it is a user is there, the user mode bit, I can put it as UM is equal to 1, should be there. So if UM is equal to 1, then that is particularly standard. But kernel is making a system call. Now user is making UM is equal to 1, and you know that we have seen in the virtual memory, this is a process, here is a kernel, and here is a hardware. That means in the user mode is made here as the user mode is made it as 1. Then if that is the case, then the kernel should be ready. Kernel should make a system call to see that that particular process is being accepted for the execution. Then the system call is generated by the second block. When the system call is generated, in this case the system call which is in the kernel mode, it will be automatically transferring from the to a 0. because you know the kernel mode is 0. So that kernel mode becomes 0 in this particular case. So automatically this is being taken, and this is being executed by the kernel modes in this particular scenario where uk is equal to 0, because though it is inside this block, but this is being represented like this, because in this, when this is you just know that whenever you make a dialogue between two if a CPU two system want to make a dialogue, first is request, then it will respond it back ready, then data transfer, then acknowledge back. So that is what. So request to send, then first is make request to send, then it will be giving a whether it is ready or not. In the same way, when this one is requesting, it is asking whether system is ready. If the system is ready, automatically then the kernel will be going to UK mode. And after the kernel is executed, then automatically this particular mode will become automatically become 1. So that means in that particular mode the system will not, and user mode and is already 1, then UK will not execute, whereas becomes 1. So we termed is that again the is in the 1 mode where the next systems can able to process. So a system call will respond to user if it is converting from a mode bit 0 to 1. So that means when this becomes 1, then the system call will be respond to the user mode. So that's why I put it as is equal to 1 here. The main function of the what is the main function of the kernel? Kernel has we say the resource management. So what are the resource management kernel is to do is that one is memory management the kernel is to do. Another is what? Network management kernel is to do. Then device drive, then management, interrupt handling, that is what is done. Then IO, input output file communications. These are nothing but the entire next is very important is process management or we termed as the IPC. So these are nothing but the main components of the